Hello, everybody. This is Rich Checkan, President of Asset Strategies International, and I am here with none other than Frank Trotter, good friend and associate. He is the president of Battle Financial, the builder of Battle Bank.
Exactly. Well, lovely to be here, Rich. We go back with the ASI and Checkan family all the way back into the 1980s.
Yes, long time
That goes
ago.
a long time back.
Currencies at Mark Twain Bank.
Exactly.
Is how I got to know you. And Frank, you know this. I respect you. I look at you as one of the elder statesmen of our industry, and one of the absolute gentlemen of the industry
You're
as
too
well.
nice to say that.
We're gathered here in Boca Raton at Rule's Natural Resource Symposium, and I just want to take the time, since we're this close, we don't always get that chance to kind of pick your brains and get a feel for what you think is going on in the markets. But before we get out of here, I also want to find out, where things stand with this incredible bank that's coming along. But let's start with the bigger picture.
Sure.
What do you see going on in the economy? Good, bad, or different?
Well, I think everybody, as we all see, is chaos and incontinuity. We have things changing every day, and the market likes certainty. There's a couple of different elements that I see. Obviously, my personal obsession, it's apparently nobody else's obsession except for the people here, which is the fiscal situation. I would have hoped, like Malay and Argentina, that this administration had come in and said, okay, I'm not going to sign anything with a deficit. We all know that didn't happen.
He gave Elon a chainsaw and everything.
Exactly.
And we didn't use the damn thing.
Didn't use it. Although that's Congress's to use, so that's it should be done there, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So our focus has largely been on the fiscal situation. Number two, of course, with inflation, despite the official numbers in the 3.x, believe them or not, we think everything's in about the 8 to 9% range for certainly everybody here at the conference, but even further across the range of the economy. So we really feel unstable at the moment. I can't tell you what's going on next week, let alone next month, let alone next quarter. And as a result, I think businesses are having a very difficult time making decisions. I have a friend at a company that makes aluminum cans. Well, their cost of goods went up 50% in June. And as Coke and Pepsi said, we'll do plastic. So I don't think that'll be all that effective, except they'll have to close some plants now.
Yeah.
Obviously, copper's change is going to change some electronics.
It's a big move.
It's going to be very interesting. That's happened this week. And so I like stability. I like fiscal conservatism, and I like stability. And right now, I'm not very happy in that sense.
Given the instability, right now, and I know you're not a financial advisor, et cetera, but your personal opinion, what do you think is the best asset or the best assets to be looking toward in this uncertain situation?
Well, and you won't be surprised at the first answer, of course, precious metals. And you can tell people much better than I, whether that's silver, gold, platinum, or palladium. Certainly gold is a big asset for most people. Silver could be on the run before long. You've made some good cases about that.
Yeah.
And platinum and palladium have their own returns as well. So something solid, something hard, something hard money is number one. Number two, the U.S. dollar has had its worst year, 6 months, since 1986 in 2025. The dollar's been king of the hill for a long time. It doesn't mean it's not going to be the reserve currency. We had
it still is, even at these depressed rates, right?
It will be, because there's some technical issues that will maintain being a reserve currency. You have to run a trade deficit. You have to do a number of other things. Otherwise, the arithmetic just doesn't work. However, we see people thinking about investing in a variety of foreign currencies, whether it's something like Norway, Australia, maybe get through the tariff war, do some China. A lot of different options out there, but those are a couple assets that we like. And of course, many of the exhibitors here at this show have some pretty interesting holes in the ground, or they have revenue streams, or they have royalties coming off some of these holes in the ground. And I think those are all very interesting, because at the end of the day, we're all buying mobile phones, we're all buying cars. Things need to be made. And to make stuff, you need stuff dug out of the ground. It's just simple.
You need stuff that people can't even pronounce or don't even know exists.
Right, but I can't name them all, and that's fine. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I just know that these guys are really good at digging it up after they find it, and that's really important. And I think a lot of these companies will perform well over time.
Yeah, no, that's a good point you brought up about the dollar. I mean, it's still going to be king of the hill, but you talk about the past 6 months, past 18 months, it's dropped 12%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a massive drop off in a very short period of time. And I do like the idea of foreign currencies as an alternative before the dollar loses all of its power.
Exactly.
Ain't know any places where we might be able to find currencies in the future. I'm just wondering.
Well, as you well know, Rich, once we get the doors of Battle Bank open, we'll be able to do that. We'll have deposit accounts in about 18 different currencies. Some of them you might want to avoid, but on the other hand, you might be doing business in that country, so maybe you do use it for transactional business. But as I said, Norway, Australia, some of the commodity currencies take a flyer on maybe one or two small allocations to some other countries down the road, and that might be interesting. But Battle Bank will have those high yield cash accounts as well as all the foreign currency savings accounts.
Fantastic. What are some of the other things you're going to be able to offer once you open the doors?
Well, I'll whisper that we'll be dealing in precious metals because you really should talk to Rich.
There's some things
but we are friends in this process.
But there's some things you're going to be doing with precious metals that are definitely of interest to me.
Importantly, you'll be able to borrow against those precious metals if you need the liquidity. And most of us want to hold on to our gold. They want to hold on to our silver. But we want some liquidity. You might want to do an investment. You might want to do a deck on the back of the house. Doesn't matter to us. But we'll be able to provide you with that liquidity by lending against your precious metals holdings. In addition, we have retirement accounts that are your retirement accounts. If you go to Schwab or Fidelity or Vanguard, you can do mutual funds, bonds, stocks, and mutual funds, bonds, and stocks. But what you'll be able to do with ours in checkbook IRA or solo 401k is invest in things you want to invest in that are legal in an IRA. Could it be multifamily housing or income-producing properties? You could open an account at ASI and buy whatever is appropriate there. You can buy private equity. You can buy crypto. You can open an account at Schwab if you want. We make it all easy because we think that your money should be your money.
Yeah, especially when it comes to self-directed IRAs. Yeah.
So, and why would I restrict you from something that's legal that you find compelling as an investment?
Yeah, and that raises a point, and you know this well because you've been in the banking industry forever. Full believer in when you work for a company participating in their 401ks because they'll match it, and there's no other way you can double the contribution like you can with those type of programs, but they restrict you to a very small group of investments. Right. So by all means take advantage of that, but when you have the chance where you can roll it over or what have you and put it into something where you have a lot more choice, what you offer is going to open the doors to a lot of opportunity.
And the other thing is the solo 401ks. If you're a 1099 worker, you can open a solo 401k just for yourself. And since it's solo, you get to do the investment plan yourself. Your company doesn't direct that. And we have a number of people that we have on the wait list that are interested in doing that through us. And they can, again, do all those other things that are in IRS speak, not ineligible in their IRA or their solo 401k.
Gotcha. So now I can't pin you down because you're not in control completely of this process.
Yep.
But in what you can share with us, can
Sure.
you share with our listeners just kind of an update of where you stand in the process? Because I know a lot of people are chomping at the bit to see Battle Bank roll out the carpet.
And it's funny, pretty much everybody that walks up to our booth here says, when are you going to open? And we say, we'd love to be able to tell you. We're in the final stages. We're, as you may know from the news, or I'll tell you now, we've contracted to buy a little bank in Minnesota. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, who's our primary regulator, has signed off on that business plan. And we're just waiting for the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis to sign off on Battle Financial becoming a holding company when we buy the bank. Process is going well. They ask questions, we answer them, and hopefully we're at the end of that little cycle. Can I predict the answer? Of course not. I would have said 2 years ago. But I think we're very close to the end of this process, and after the Fed says yes, that's somewhere between 30 and 60 days, we'll acquire the bank and begin the battle bank process.
Fantastic. Well, I know we're all waiting, looking forward to that opportunity. Let's face it, I think banking needs a breath of fresh air. It's hard to find somebody with as much business sense as the team of Frank Trotter and Rick Rule, and I know you've done this before. You're going to do it again and better this time.
We're having a lot of fun,
possible.
and it's also getting back to hang around with people like yourself and all the great people that we run into at these conferences. So it's very energizing when people walk up to the booth and we get to run into great people like you.
Fantastic. Well, Frank, thank you for taking the time. I know you're very busy here. You're a man with a big target on his back. Everybody's looking for you, but I appreciate taking a little time out, sharing your thoughts with our listeners, and look forward to the next time to speak with you on the opening of this amazing
Yeah,
day.
we'll announce that hopefully very soon, and everybody come on in and take a look.
Thank you.